Right, so I'm pretty sure I've sussed out what's going on with these planes now, because I used to actually park up on Castle Hill at night time, right? So this, where the love heart is at the bottom left, where it says Google, right? That's Castle Hill there, right? And we used to park on Castle Hill, right? At night time, facing that way, facing Farnley Tyres, right? Facing towards the top right of the screen. And at night time, when I used to park there, I used to watch planes coming over, because they used to come over at night. Choo, choo, choo. They used to fly, right? Now, they used to come, and used to watch them go after each other, right? That's 2 mile. That is 2 mile to the right of Emley Mast, right? So, the bottom left love heart, right? That's Castle Hill. Now, the middle love heart on the left, where I've got the measurement coming out of, right? That is where we are, and where the black target is there. Oh no, sorry. I'm where the little blue dot is to the left, right on the edge of the screen, right? So the love heart is Emley Mast, right? That's what I meant. The middle love heart is Emley Mast, right? Now, so the middle love heart's Emley Mast, and the bottom love heart is Castle Hill, where we used to park. Now, 2 miles. So measuring this distance. Right. Sorry, the measurement had gone off the bottom. Right, 2 miles there. So that black target now, that black target is 2 miles, right, away from Emley Mast. And that love heart there at the bottom by Castle Hill now, right, that is where we were parked watching planes come over, and they used to fly to the right-hand side of Emley Mast, because I used to watch them. I absolutely used to watch them flying to the right-hand side of Emley Mast, right? And to be honest, I don't even think that they did the full 2 mile. I don't even think they avoided it properly by the full 2 mile, to be honest. They should have been doing it more, right? But they used to fly to the right-hand side. And now they've got 2 towers up, right? They've got 2 towers, and one of the towers is to the actual right, to this right-hand side, right? And now, all of a sudden, they've started flying to this side around this distance. Now, we're 2 miles, right? So that's 2 miles. So it should be not flying over our house. It should be flying more over Lassalall Cricket Club over here, right? And what's happening now is it's coming over around here, this side, right? Now, I know for certain that the light aircraft guy has told me, I asked him what the distance is, and he thinks that it's at least 1,000 foot. He thinks it's 0.6 mile for light aircraft, which is to Emley Village. That is to Emley Village. He says that for light aircraft, he thinks that it's about 0.6 mile radius they've got to keep away from it for light aircraft, right? And they're a lot more manoeuvrable, a light aircraft. You can turn a lot quicker, so they've got to give at least a distance of Emley Village away from the mast, right? But for commercial aircraft, my friend, he flies drones, and he said when he was checking a while ago, he'd seen signs up, I'm seeing on websites, that it was 3 mile radius. Now that's 3 mile radius, right? Now there's never been planes coming directly over our house, right? And from Leeds Bradford Airport, right, there's even, you don't get planes from Leeds Bradford, really. And those can't be coming from Leeds Bradford because it's a different direction, right? Now, 3 miles the other side is about there, right? And I think they were supposed to be giving 3 miles berth the other side when we were watching them on Castle Hill, but I don't think they bothered to give it the full berth. I think they were getting slack, and no one's really been reporting it or looked into it, right? And I think because they've got 2 masts up now, right, here, it's added a little bit onto this side, right? And they've been cautious, suddenly got... People have got an interest because of that other mast about them not being bothered to do the full clearance, right? So what they've done is they've started flying at the other side, and they don't even want to give it the full clearance this side, right? And that's why they're flying over us now, which is only 1.3 mile distance. 0.6 for light aircraft, and it should be 3 mile distance for other aircraft. And I think, right, where the plane's actually going, I don't know where they're coming from, but Manchester Airport is at Stockport, right? Manchester Airport is Stockport there, right? So there's not actually much in it. One side, it's whether it's one side or the mast or the other, right? It's not that much in it. But where are they coming from, these planes? Because if they're flying from over here, they must be coming from... They must be going to Manchester Airport from overseas. Over here somewhere. Because they're not coming from Leeds Bradford, I can tell you that. Because if they're coming from Leeds Bradford, they go north. More over Leeds. Taking off and landing from Leeds Bradford is they're going over there. They don't need to come over us at all. And actually, to be honest, by the time you've taken off from Leeds Bradford, you know, I mean, what are they doing? Turning round. I saw one go and turn 90 degrees at one point, which was ridiculous. So I doubt the Liverpool traffic. If it's Liverpool Airport traffic, I mean, where they're flying from Grimsby, I doubt it. I mean, if they're not from Scotland, actually, because if they're flying from Edinburgh or Glasgow to Liverpool or Manchester, they wouldn't actually be going anywhere near us. So it's not Liverpool or Manchester traffic. Now, you could say they're flying from Scotland to London, right? It could be Glasgow or Edinburgh to London, maybe. That would be flying. But that'd be flying towards the mast from here. That'd be flying towards... if it was Scotland, if there were Scottish planes, right, flying to London, they'd be flying towards Emley mast. Straight sort of towards it, over us, towards the mast direction, right? And I hadn't seen any planes going in that direction. Actually, I've seen planes going in that direction, but a lot more northwards, right? So, the ones that are going over this way... Where's Bradford then? The ones taking off and landing from Leeds Bradford aren't coming anywhere near us, I don't think. Because you would either go from Leeds Bradford, you go... They're not going, it's still towards the mast, they're not going that way. They're going from out here. So it's towards Manchester Airport. It's something to do with planes going something towards Stockport and back, right? From out here this way, right? Which to me, if you're going Stockport and back that trajectory, right? You're not actually going towards the mast, you're flying perpendicular to it. So it's something to do with something that's changed, that we're going at this side of the the side, Skelmanthorpe side, and it's been moved over to this side, right? And it must, in its own, why has it only happened since that tower's gone up? No planes flew over here. We've lived here for 10 years. No planes flew over here like that and that low down, right? Before, hardly before. There's more now after COVID, but it's not because COVID were quiet. We didn't have planes flying over before. It's that mast that's been built. And what it is, I think, is they've got 2 masts up now, so it's twice as dangerous, right? And what's happened is, now it's twice as dangerous. The regular flight that they had at the other side with the other mast, people are curious about that other mast being up, right? And I don't think that they were even given the proper... I think that if my mate's seen that it was 3 miles, that he didn't pull that from nowhere, he has seen it somewhere. And I don't think that before they built that second mast at Emley, I don't think they were giving the full berth of it because they couldn't be bothered. And they got really slack with it, right? And what I think is now they've put that second mast up, right? There's a bit of attention drawn to it. So the usual route that they're getting slack of, because that new temporary mast has gone over that side, what they've done is they brought the flight path over this side, right? But there's still that the whole fact that Emley mast is there annoys the hell out of air traffic control. Air traffic control just don't want that mast to be there because it's a pain in the ass to them, right? And all the planes have to go awkward round it, and they weren't properly going around it as they should have been doing before that new second mast coming up, right? So what they've done is they've come over this other side, and they think that because, you know, they're doing something different to where that new transmitter's up the other side of it, they think that people won't notice, right? Well, I'm noticing, because they're not only flying below the height they're supposed to do, extremely low, they're actually going within the 3 miles. And why is it that in the fog, it's extremely dangerous when a military plane crashed into the Empire State Building in the fog in America? And in 9/11, the plane flew into a building, right? And not only that, there's a plane flown over the Taj Mahal, actually, in February this year. The Taj Mahal's got a no-fly zone over it just for religious purposes, right? And it's not even as high as Emley Mast, and they reported it, right? That's what's happened. And I think that the air traffic control and the transport police and the aviation authority and the government know about this. And what they've done is they've gone onto the internet, and all the information about the fly zones around there, they've removed it because they don't want people to find it and know about it. Because why is it when I type it in, it's not appearing? And when you go onto the aviation when you go into the aviation air site that shows no fly zones, it's only showing the no fly zones above airports. The no fly zones where other planes aren't allowed to fly. Like if you take off from a private airport and you're just flying around for leisure, you're not allowed to fly near Leeds Bradford Airport or Grimsby Airport because it's a no-fly zone, right? And other certain areas like military bases and things like that, right? We're not talking about drones now, we're talking about aeroplanes. So why is that MLMAS no-fly zone not on there? It won't be not on at all. It's been removed completely. It should have at least half a mile radius, like what that guy at the private airports told me. He said there is a no-fly zone around it, and he, at least for light aircraft, he thinks that it's at 0.6 mile, right? Now, on the aviation website for the whole country, which I've been on, that's got even the no-fly zones for airports, it should have an Emley Master one on. Now, because it should be at least something and not nothing, right? That means that if there was something there, people would be able to look at it and be curious because that second mast up about all the aircraft around it, right? So if they put the 0.5, 0.6 mile one on, right, then it will at least be something. But they haven't even got that on. Because I don't think they want you to be interested or look at it at all. And now that there's a lot of people got drones and flying them around, then someone will get suspicious about all the planes going over, right? That's what I think's happened. And it's something to do with planes coming this way from somewhere over here, right, to Manchester Airport, right? And they've moved because of that second transmitter, right? That's what it is. It's not the Scotland ones, because I've seen them go the other way, and they go further over that way. I've seen them going backwards and forwards. They can easily miss the mast and go to London, because London's at that top side. The ones from Scotland to London miss it, right? And Leeds Bradford is used to taking off and landing. The Leeds Bradford flights are used to taking off and landing, right? Unless they've got to turn round. But what's the point in turning? If you're at Leeds Bradford Airport, right, and you've got to turn round, and their runway, you don't turn round this way. They turn them round over towards Leeds, I think, because if they've got an established history of turning round and there's a mast there, they wouldn't have the turning flights near the mast. They wouldn't. Leeds Bradford Airport have not got turning flights near that mast. They haven't, because they've been there for a long time, and it would be pointless to go and turn. They don't turn. They go the other way and do all the turns to get the trajectory. They don't go that way to do it, I don't think. It's. I know which direction it is, right? It's planes that are coming from over here. And I don't think it's Grimsby Airport, because they don't do that many flights from Grimsby to Manchester Airport, because it's pointless and not on a regular basis. You don't fly from Grimsby to Manchester Airport, because that's pointless. Might be flying from Grimsby to somewhere else, but if you're flying from Grimsby to somewhere else, where are you flying over there? Ireland. If you're flying to Ireland, could be Grimsby ones. It might actually be. It could possibly be from Grimsby Airport, but it's not that busy airport, is it? Where they're flying to Ireland from Grimsby. It could be. Which, I mean, it's not Stockport, but I think it is. I think they are flying to Leeds. I think they are flying to Stockport. It's something to do with that second mast being there. That's what it's to do with. And there is an area around it, at least the minimum of 0.6 mile, and I think it is 3 mile, because I've heard it before, and it makes sense when you're flying at that speed, those speeds, and you've got a large aircraft that you might not be able to turn too quickly.